Welcome to the Isekast. David's dead. He died.
Hey, I'm Dead Horse, and today with us is our guest, Woodman Senpai. Woodhorse as he's on the Isekast.
Is that what you came up with? All right.
Really creative, right?
Yeah. I wonder where it comes from.
Woodhorse, as you may know, we are very much a professional manga review / contemplation podcast.
Yeah.
I had to wear a tie to get in.
Yeah.
It was a sailor uniform tie,
That
which
hoodie
is weird,
a
but
total tie.
Well,
You tied it around
Sailor
yourself.
Moon's isekai. We're not going to get into that right now, though. We have other topics.
Wait,
can you please?
I never went through Sailor Moon.
me neither, yeah.
Can we please talk about your credentials? Please tell us something about your anime credentials as really just like a learned, studied academic on the subject.
Well, I've watched High School DxD like 3 times and never touched myself through the whole thing.
Same,
wow.
bro.
Nice. So,
Except for that one time that I did touch myself.
That's
all the time. The whole time
I
watching
touched
it.
myself after I'd watched the show a few times, but
That's impressive.
You know.
I might have to check your credentials later, but if they're true, then that is impressive.
yeah.
You're right. It's all about that Dojin Scarlet Princess.
Well-
You can't go to the actual show.
As the
Exactly,
whole 4
dude. All
people
about
that are
Doji.
watching this can see, we do have an anime executive amongst us here today.
Yeah.
Jacob, the Woodman Senpai, Woodhorse man. We're gonna talk about Konosuba today, or to those of you that like
Is this
way
like-
too long Japanese
Is that
names.
like it's a Japan?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was a Japanese thing or if this was like Chinese or Korean. I have the Asian countries mixed up sometimes.
Well-
Konosubarashi ni Shukufuku wo, or Konosuba, God's blessing on this wonderful world.
Why do you know every time?
Because I have
he
to.
has it written down.
Yeah.
This is really inside baseball for the Isekast. I'm telling them all your secrets.
Yeah. Well.
Oh God, no! Everybody knows that I have. Everybody
It's
knows that I
inside
have a notebook
baseball
now.
and
Everybody knows
also
about the
an
notebook
expose
that we
of the
talk
song.
about every episode. I know.
It says never give up on it. By the way,
Oh.
It's lovely.
it was the author is Akatsuki Natsume. The illustrator for the manga, at least, is Watari Masahito.
I don't
John
like him.
Watade, I like Megumin a lot.
No, I don't like him. I don't like him because it's worse than the anime.
Yeah, you're right. it is.
Yeah, the manga quality is a lot worse than the anime. Actually, the covers for the light novel are actually much better than the manga.
Yeah.
as well.
yeah.
So
Those are fancy.
Well,
I mean,
it's
like
a light novel cover. They're always really fancy. That's like how they make their sales.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, let's just spend the next 5 minutes shitting on Watari, I guess.
nice.
It was serialized by Dragon Age, the company that brought us our favorite anime.
Dragon Age
March.
Inquisition.
Dragon Age, no, the Death March. They
Oh yeah, I forgot they did.
they were the
same
company that
people.
serialized Death March and caused us to make a 2-hour episode about how much we both
Do
hate
they-
and discuss lollies.
Do they just serialize a shitload of isekai?
You know, I knew that they published Death March because I listened to the previous episodes of the Isekast.
Yeah.
You can subscribe now here on YouTube, but please don't.
Yeah, please don't. But hit the notification bell so you can dodge a bullet.
Hit the notification bell. So, fuck you, do it. Yeah, guys, I'm a master of comedy. Did you hear that,
So,
dude?
let's talk about what Konosuba is, I guess.
Konosuba is probably one of the very few examples of a well done isekai, I'd call it. I think the only one that I like other than Konosuba, like outright, like I think it's just a good show, is Log Horizon. But they're very different. Because Konosuba is like really good just as for comedy.
Log
and,
Horizon is like full of it can be funny, but it has its dramatic moments.
Yeah,
That's where
yeah.
Konosuba is just comedy.
It's all about undercutting dramatic moments. Like
Yeah.
that's a huge, the huge thing Konosuba does. I mean, in the last few chapters,
the
there's
subversion of expectations.
Yeah.
I wrote down a bullet point about that.
the last few chapters of the manga is all just a bunch of subversions of what you would
Hold on.
expect to happen.
Woodman Senpai just shot me with a fake laser, and the isekai protagonist I had growing on my shoulder is now dead, and he got
Nice. Now he
reincarnated.
got
You're
isekai.
welcome.
There you go.
Just as usual, we have to drop a pen.
You drop a pen because it isekai someone. Well, no, last time I threw a pen as hard as I could across the room.
Well, this time it was shot with a laser, so.
Oh, okay. But it's better than most isekai because it knows it's isekai.
It's meta. That's the reason
the
it's
meta
better.
one.
It's the meta one where it's like, I'm supposed to take this holy sword and go slay the Demon King. As where instead of doing that, he sells a guy's holy sword that he would have used to beat the Demon King.
It even I think Konosuba started a trend in the quote unquote meta isekais that, because there's a lot of isekais that try to say they're meta and then aren't at all.
Yeah.
Not Konosuba not included amongst those.
Call some of them out, please.
Oh fuck.
Just in case any listeners don't know.
Make You Black Company.
Yeah, I mean, it Make You Black Company, as cool as it
what a
looks, and
name.
its plot, it is still definitely isekai while calling isekai shit out.
Isekai Mao to whatever. Is it the one where he is the Demon King, but like he
Oh, that
isn't,
one.
because he's a video game character. There's a lot. There's a lot, and that's why it's so hard. Any isekai in which at the very beginning, they're like,
it's
hey,
like-
you need to go kill the Demon King, and they're like, oh no.
As French as it is, it's kind of they're like passe attempts at deconstruction.
Right. They're just doing the same shit Konosuba did.
Yeah, because in Konosuba, he has this viewpoint of where he doesn't want to. He doesn't really want to kill the Demon King, but it's not because. Like, there's this thing where they do, oh, I don't want to kill the Demon King. That sounds troublesome, being dragged into being this hero. I just want to live a peaceful life. Whereas Kazuma doesn't want to kill the Demon King because that, like, he's looking for the best option for himself.
Yeah.
And the best option doesn't seem to be killing the Demon King. But then he, like, falls back to killing the Demon King over and over again. Because it's like, oh, wow, my situation is shit. I need to go kill the Demon King.
Yeah.
Let me just explain what Konosuba is. So, Kazuma, he's a NEET. He's a hickey. He's a hickey NEET, as
He's an
he's commonly
isekai
referred to.
protagonist.
He's an isekai protagonist. He was on his way, at least in the anime. I don't know about the manga. He was just on the street in the manga. In the anime, he was on his way to go buy this new fantasy RPG.
Yeah, they didn't include that detail.
He did have stuff in his hands in the manga.
Yeah, but they didn't talk about it at all.
He sees this girl in the middle of the street, and he thinks she's about to be run over by a truck. One of the great tropes of isekai is the protagonist is killed by a truck, so this is a giant red flag. So he tries to... All he remembers is that he was trying to push her away, and he asks Aqua, the goddess that is currently reincarnating him in the god talk. You know how that happens in isekai. Was the girl safe? And she begins to laugh, just burst out laughing, because... The girl wasn't in any danger. It was a tractor that was about to hit him.
He literally
hit her.
He literally just
It was going
jumped
too
in front
slow
of,
to hit her. It
yeah,
wasn't even
he
gonna
jumped
hit her.
in front of a tractor, then thought it was a truck, died from shock, pissed and shit himself, and then was laughed at by his family and the doctors because he died so pathetically.
So
It's kind
Aqua
of
says
erotic.
all this to his face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she just fucking laughs at him.
She honestly doesn't have any filter, it seems like, in her character to withhold news and like tell little lies to help the better, like for people's good.
No white
Yeah, the
lies.
character's just like super impulsive. Is
So-
the character.
He's like now kind of pissed, and he's like, "Fear not, you're gonna reincarnate into this other world." And he's like, "I really don't want to do that."
Yeah. So okay. So he isn't saying like I don't really want to do that, but like there's a lot of situations in other isekai where they're like I don't want to reincarnate to another world. That sounds like a bother. I just want a peaceful life. He's like I don't want to do that because you seem really sketchy.
Yeah.
You seem really sketchy and like this is a really bad deal. This sounds too good.
Poking fun of the fact that like at this point in isekai, it seems like God is more like a used car salesman than anything else.
He's like, hey,
And it turns
Have
out
this
like
smartphone.
I wanted the smartphone.
she lets it slip. That's like, no, I got to make a quota of isekai protagonists.
Yeah.
It's like I need 4 more by the end of the month.
Which, like further in the anime, they show there's like I think there's been like 3 other people from Japan that show up in the anime just because she's like, oh yeah, I sent that guy over there.
Right, and sometimes she doesn't even recognize them.
Oh yeah, because that one guy comes up
Yeah.
with the
He's
demon
like,
sword.
Aqua-sama, do you remember me? It's like
And she's
"Who-
like,
who
sorry,
are you?"
I've sent She literally said, she's like, sorry, I've sent a lot of people here.
Yeah.
I really don't remember.
Was
So-
the demon sword guy in the anime?
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
There was more of him in the anime.
There was
Oh.
a little bit more of him in the anime. So yeah, I think they'd be like 2 episodes about him. But so she offers him like you can have like powers or like a super magical item if you just go there and fight the demon king. You like games, don't you? Go to this other world
Well,
where it's like a game.
And this is where like the first anime, like the first big anime change happens. Where in the anime he takes a giant like list of all of the possible things you can get. And he takes all the papers and he lays them out. Oh shit! I hit the cord. Now it's fucked.
It's fine.
It's fucked. But he takes all the papers and he lays them out, and he's like going over each one and trying to min max and find like the best thing he can take. And then she just keeps like berating him because she's like, just fucking hurry up. I got like
Yeah.
6 more people to do today. You're being really slow. I'm wasting time on you. You're a fucking loser. And then she just shits on him for like a while. And then he just gets really mad. He's like, well, I pick you. Fuck you. And
Good
then
moment.
and then they both go. And then they both get isekai'd.
And then in the anime, it's Eris, right? But I don't think Eris is the one that took
No,
over.
it was Eris in this too.
It was?
Yeah, if you look at her, she has the hairstyle.
Oh, okay. I also have a sneaking suspicion that Eris is a guy, but we'll get to that later.
That'd be hilarious
yeah.
if when Konosuba 3 is a thing.
Because I am,
Eris is a guy.
I'm like, wait, she pads her. We'll get into this later, but apparently Eris pads her chest, and I'm like, she's got that one haircut that every single trap has,
Oh, she's got the trap haircut.
and I'm like, I think you're a guy.
She's a trap.
She's a trap.
If she's a trap,
She's
have
gonna
to
be
go
a trap
delete lot of
because
folders.
the
Because the protagonist likes her a lot.
yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
it's
why
gonna
it's going to be a trap.
Yeah.
And he
You're
can
right.
never find a legitimately good woman, so he has to be crushed by the fact that she's a boy.
Except for Megamine.
No, but she's 14. That's his problem.
Megamine is 14.
Yeah.
I met Megamine's older sister, who's 18.
She has one in the other manga.
Thank God.
Konosuba
Oh, the Megumin one.
Bakuretsu
I was gonna read that,
Hey.
but I had to read the main series for this, so I did that first.
I read-
Megumin is not from another world and is therefore not an isekai character.
Right.
So we will not be doing that.
No, you're right.
no, I'm just gonna read it.
The
Though.
Megumin manga, yeah, he's just gonna read it for Megumin.
God damn it, Woodman Senpai,
He
put
has-
your
she
hat
has-
somewhere else. It keeps falling over.
She
I
has,
don't control it, man.
she has 6 siblings in that. Like,
That
and there's
is
like
interesting.
there's a whole page of her siblings,
All right,
Cool.
and there's a lot of union.
we need to get back
Union
on.
is interesting. I've seen her on the covers.
We need to get back on topic here.
No, fuck you.
All right, Konosuba. So he chooses Aqua as his thing, and like she's just dragged down from goddesshood to being like a normal mortal in this fantasy world with him.
No, she's still a goddess.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, she's still 100% goddess. It's really important.
100% goddess.
It's really important in the second season because she has a number of powers that only gods would have.
No.
And like one that they throw out as a joke, her god bro is actually a god power, and they end up fighting a slime, which in this world like they talk about how slimes are like actually stupid dangerous because in reality they would be,
Yeah.
because it's an amorphous thing that doesn't take hits because it's made of liquid and it can't be cut.
Yeah, there
So-
wouldn't be a lethal spot on a slime. In fact, in D&D and like Pathfinder, there
Slimes
are
are
no
stupid
criticals on a
dangerous,
slime
yeah.
usually, I think.
So there, one of the Demon King's generals is a poison slime.
I remember him. I saw the second
Yeah,
season.
think of it like
Does he evaporate their clothes when he touches them?
yes.
Yes,
Okay,
actually, that
yeah.
does
and
happen.
their skin.
All
All right,
slimes
I'm
do
excited
that.
to get
All
to that
slimes
part.
do that.
All slimes are really lewd.
Yeah, I
All
know,
slimes.
I know.
They're all about rape.
And vor.
And vor. But the only thing that ends up able to kill it is the god blow because it hits like your fucking spirit.
I guess.
If it hits skin, she's just punching you normally.
Yeah.
But because it's a blob, she punches just it, and then it fucks him really bad.
All right.
Perhaps
so level
Aqua's a goddess like Eris is a lady. Aqua's like, I'm all goddess here, boys.
Perhaps
Yeah.
Aqua is a goddess like Eris is a lady, as in not.
As in, kind of.
she kind of looks
As
like
in-
it.
as she's a lady as far as your imagination can take it.
And another thing that shows that she's a goddess is that in that season, they're in the city where the Aqua cult exists,
Yeah.
and her
Yeah,
power
this
is
is cool.
directly proportional to how much they believe in her. And so she's like, "No, you guys
I
gotta
like it
believe
in
in me
hyperdimension
more."
Neptune. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, is that
Yes,
how
that is how
Neptunia
hyperdimension
is?
Neptune works.
Oh.
They're called shares.
There is a Neptunia game that is isekai. So
There.
Oh,
which
God.
one is it?
she gets sent to this other world.
Is it fucking Sega Dimension or
Man, I don't fucking remember.
Mega
There's so
Dimension
many of
Neptune
those.
versus Sega Hard Girls? Is that the one where
No.
IF goes to another world?
No, but that would be
Or no?
considered that.
That is
Yeah.
isekai technique.
No, there's
Stop. We're not
No,
doing
no.
Neptunia games.
Okay.
No. We gotta solve
There's
this
a girl
mystery.
with like split personalities in it. And
What's
like
her-
one is a fight one and one is a not fight one.
I don't think I've gotten to that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to any of them. So
Is that like the third one? I haven't done
I
that
don't
one.
fucking know.
All right.
It's on Xbox.
Okay.
It's on Xbox, dude.
Probably on Xbox.
All right.
Holy shit!
Okay.
I'm just gonna play.
All
on
right,
PC anyway.
Konosuba.
Konosuba. They're in this other world and they decide to go be adventurers because, like, what else do you do when you're dropped in the middle of a place and it has kind of video game mechanics?
Oh no.
You become
Windows
an
updates.
fucking adventurer, man. Until you
Yeah,
take
I mean-
an arrow to the knee.
You just become an adventurer. Yeah, sure. Skyrim memes aside,
Thanks, 2011.
Oh, I played so much Skyrim.
we're not talking about Skyrim. Okay.
I got chased by
Can we talk
skeletons
about Monster Hunter
for like
now, or
30
did-
minutes.
No,
one
we're
time
not
in
talking about
Skyrim
Monster- we're
in
not
the
talking
snow.
about
It was
Monster
so
Hunter.
awesome.
Okay. So they go and get their cards and they find their stats. Aqua is like,
She's a goddess. She has stupid high stats.
she has stupid high
Right.
stats except for like intellect and like luck, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
Kazuma has hella high luck.
in the translation for the manga they said wisdom and luck.
And Cosma,
In the anime they said intelligence and luck.
Cosma is like, his luck
Oh,
is
I should mention I
appar-
skipped like the first couple chapters of the manga because I'd seen it on the anime.
That's fine. It's
yeah.
relatively the same. It's actually better in the
Okay, cool.
anime.
Yeah, the anime is better.
I can't reiterate this enough. The anime is so much better than the manga.
You
Okay.
bumped it. You bumped it, fucker.
I've
Does
bumped
that
it like
mean I
3
can't just use
times,
hand
dude.
gestures? I get that this is an audio format, but I use hand gestures when I
Yeah,
talk.
it's-
Stop doing that. Okay.
I've been rigid still this entire time like a corpse.
Yes,
Yeah.
you
I've
actually.
only been moving my mouth.
He's actually
Not
in
even my
in a
eyes.
coffin.
He's got like
Yeah.
he's in like one of those father armchairs and he's got like a cup of gin and rocks and he's got
He
like
is actually in the father armchair. In fact, if you pull that lever right there, the legs come out and it'll make a hugely loud noise.
Please
It'll
don't,
probably
but don't
knock
pull the
shit over.
lever. Don't-
that
it'll
side
knock,
over there.
Yeah, it'll knock this thing.
But
over.
so Cosmo's
later.
luck stat, I kind of want to talk about that a little bit because every character that looks at it's like, why is this so high?
It's like, dude, fuck.
Well, luck builds, right? So as your luck stat goes up,
No, okay.
you get even more lucky, which makes your luck
All right.
stat go up even more.
I now have a relevant way to bring video games into the conversation, and that's Dark Souls.
I did
because-
a luck build in Dark
Because
Souls.
Dark Souls
did a Dark
3
Souls.
has viable luck builds. He's a viable luck build, all right?
Yeah, but
love
bleed
it.
doesn't work like that in
It
Konosuba's.
does because he ends up with the thief class, which would be bleed centric in comparison to other classes because their damage dealing in most general RPGs for thieves is
I kind of
condition-based.
have to correct you there. He doesn't end up as a thief class. He ends up as the adventurer class.
Yeah, he's
in
adventurer
the
class.
early parts. They tell him he can reclass later.
Yes, but in this part that we've read,
Yes,
in this that we're
okay.
discussing,
In the first 21 chapters that we are discussing, yes.
he is the adventurer class, which is the most worthless class.
He's level 6,
Yeah.
probably.
He's
he
almost
levels
like-
up. by
He's
the
level
end.
6 by the end of it. By the
No,
end of it, he's past
He's
level
level
6.
Yeah, by the end
But
he's
through most
past
of it, he's
level
level
6.
6.
Most of it, he's level 6.
Okay, so they like realize that they have like no money. They get the fee to become adventurers from just a priest that really wants Aqua to stop leaving him alone.
Okay,
they really underplayed
this
this.
is another thing they skipped in the manga that was like a really, really good moment
It was a funny joke.
in the anime, is that when she asked the priest like is like, "Oh, you're a follower of Aqua," and she's like, "No, I am Aqua," and he's like, "Oh."
It's like it's a
You're a
kindly old
crazy
it's a
lady.
kindly old man too in the anime, as where in the manga it's kind of like
Just some guy.
it's just some guy. It's really generic
And
looking.
it's this scene where she just gets really embarrassed and mad because this guy like just takes pity on her and gives
Yeah.
her money, and she's like, "But I'm a goddess. Why would anyone believe me?"
Mhm.
So
I remember that.
they do get the bill floated to become adventurers, and they really kind of underplayed in the manga, but they like do odd jobs and live in the stables for the first couple days.
They don't even show the odd jobs in the
Yeah,
manga.
they don't even show
No,
it.
in the anime they have a
In the
sweet
anime,
montage.
They have this like really fucking one of my favorite scenes in the whole
It was
show.
awesome.
It's just the part where it's a montage of them just working, and then like they work for
and drink and
they work
sleep
for
and
like
work
2
and drink
months,
and sleep.
and then they
It's
realize
it's like much more expanded in the anime, and it's a much better representation.
it's
Yeah,
also a really
yeah.
important scene for the relationship between Aqua and Cosmo because
Yeah, it seems like they're more
'Cause
roommates.
She sees him jerk off every night,
Right.
which they discuss later.
well because like they would
Why did you wink at me? You literally winked at me after that sentence.
You'll understand soon enough.
What? Oh, okay. What I was saying is that they would understandably not like each other at all at the beginning.
Right.
And they're just sort of forced to be in the same situation. Whereas that scene works to establish the idea that they just like get over it and become friends. And they're
Yeah.
like they're friendly now. They're just friends. And the
not.
manga just skips over it and they just stop caring about the teleported to another world thing and the whole you
So it's
ruined
like
my life.
why are they even still together? You know.
Yeah.
Since
Okay.
they're not trying to fight the
So-
Demon King anyway.
And they sort of like really underplay this as well in the manga compared to the anime. The anime they like go and fight the toads and then realize they need extra party members. In the manga they're just like, all right, we need more party members.
Yeah.
They don't have a reason to have
They
more
don't really
party
have a
members. They're just
reason.
like, we need 4 people. So Megumin comes in really quickly in that regard, and
Which is why I like the manga better.
and we got our first lolly. We got first lolly of this isekai.
I think it's the only lolly.
So far,
it's
anyway.
isekai, so
for the
it
first
has to have a
21
lolly.
chapters.
And yeah, and then like I think they find her and then they go blow up more frogs, and it's relatively similar to the anime. By the way, if you haven't seen the anime or read the manga, might make more sense if you go do that, huh?
Dude, just go watch the anime.
Yeah, the
Just go-
anime is
it's
actually
yeah,
really good.
yeah.
Hey, stop watching, listening, watching,
Yeah,
doing
why
whatever
would
with
you-
this garbage and go watch
Why
that
would
anime.
you listen to Isekast instead of watch good anime?
I'm talking to you. Go
Yeah,
do
you.
it.
Yeah, you, Ryan.
Yeah, that's probably Ryan.
There's probably a Ryan listening.
Yeah,
Probably
maybe.
not.
I'm specifically.
Is
I'm,
your mom's name Ryan?
No.
Then there's no Ryan
My mom
listening.
doesn't listen to this shit.
That's implying we have caring families.
I have a friend named Ryan, but I bet you he's not gonna listen. I don't know. We got like 98 views on the first episode, so like, there's probably a Ryan though. I bet out of 100 people, 1 in
Yeah,
100
Ryan's
people is
pretty
named
common.
Ryan statistically.
Gotta.
Ryan, if the Americas ever get an isekai sort of like following, and they start writing their own, you'll probably be in them because Ryan's very popular right now in the naming scene.
Mm-hmm. You're right. That's true. Lots of Ryans.
I wonder what's the most popular
Crawling
name
around.
right now. It's probably John. No. I bet
always
you
the
it's.
most
I bet
popular.
you it's Jake because you're fucking right
No.
here.
Jake,
It's
he's
not
Jake.
the most popular right now.
Well, that's the full name for Jake.
No. Jake's just Jake.
Oh yeah, I forgot the full name for Jake.
Gyllenhaal is the full name for Jake.
I forgot
Yeah.
the full name for Jake is Jaquangia.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's move on. So
No.
It's Romanian.
Megumin. Let's talk about her character a
Yes.
little bit, because I know we have somebody sitting across from us that really wants us to talk about her.
Yeah, get in on Megumin. Tell us
Dead
your
horse.
passion for Megumin.
Tell us a little bit about Megumin.
Megumin's just a real swell gal. This is how I sound when I tell my parents about
All right, so
girlfriends in theory.
in the Megumin manga, there is a scene in which she's like in class because she
Okay, good.
because
Is she wearing a skirt?
she's
Very
wearing
good.
the same outfit.
Oh, okay. That's good. I like the witch thing, but it's just weird.
Well,
It's the same
everyone
outfit.
wears the outfit there.
All right.
It's
But,
a
like,
uniform there,
okay.
as where it's just like weird
Yeah.
everywhere
Yeah.
else.
like the fact that Yun wears a different outfit is kind of weird
Okay.
there.
Okay.
It's not like a uniform because it's a
Gonna
little
have to
different
read
for
this
everyone.
Megumin manga, man.
Yeah. But she's like the top of her class. She's like the most genius wizard that's ever been
That makes sense.
amongst the Crimson Demons ever. But they're still young, so they haven't learned magic yet. She's not like out and about learning magic. She's just
Right.
learning about magic. And they describe how there are a bunch of different kinds of magic. There's like impact magic, which is because they're talking about the 8 tiers of explosion magic.
Right.
There's impact magic, which is the lowest tier, which is like really tiny blasts that you can use to like destabilize people or like stun them, like things like that.
Okay.
Then there's something in between there, but then it gets important to blast magic. And they're like the greatest arch wizard that ever lived used blast magic. Blast magic is small explosions about the size of a person that you can just like throw out really quick.
That is sick. That's really
but
rad.
no one has ever had the capacity to be able to use
Okay.
blast magic.
Okay.
And they're all like, and that's the ultimate goal of any Crimson Demon is to become a blast magic user because like no one can pull that shit off.
Okay.
And then Megumin's like, excuse me, isn't there one more? And they're like, oh yeah, there's that really useless explosion magic.
Explosion!
Where they're like, oh yeah, I mean it's too large scale for construction.
Did I blow up the mic?
You broke it. It's dead. They're like,
We get it. You get very excited with Megumin.
they
I
talk
like
about-
it when she says explosion.
They talk about how it's too big for construction because it's too much damage.
Right.
You can't use it in a fight because there's too much collateral damage.
Right.
And,
it knocks
takes
her out.
its mana cost is so high that no person can cast it more than once.
Okay.
And so they're like, so it's the most useless kind of magic that exists. And then she's just like, hey, fuck you. Just do it anyways. and that like starts her journey. I think the other theme of that is just that she's poor and she eats just shit that she finds on the ground.
So
Okay.
here's what I like about it.
That's why she's
because
so
like
thin.
you made it sound like impact, blast, and then like explosion was gonna be the next tier where it's like, yeah,
Right.
the magician who can do this
That's
is
good
like some
delivery.
serious shit.
No.
And then it's like, no, it's completely useless. It's the subversion of expectations again.
Because I think her
Indeed.
expectation is that because blast magic was such a big deal, if she can be the one who learns explosion magic, if she walks the path of explosion magic,
Where she can just toss
She
out
can be the
explosions.
one,
Like,
she can
right.
just toss out explosions, she's the new big deal.
Right.
But it's like, it's
The
not
next
that
big
no
thing.
one can use it that makes it bad. It's that it's just impractical.
like you could train your entire life, and the most you could probably do is pull off 2 explosions in a day.
But maybe she's special and she'll be able to do really well.
Right.
Get
But
lost.
like you'd have to make them, like the whole problem is that you have to make them smaller.
Yeah.
And she wants to make
She
them
will-
bigger.
Right.
There has been one situation in which it's useful, and it's at the very end of the manga.
Yeah.
Right, where it's they're destroying the Landwalker thing, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
So Megumin,
Because you love continuity.
I have to. So Megumin comes in. They're like, "Hey, I see that you're looking for adventurers with high tier jobs," which they weren't sure if they should put high tier jobs on there or not because
that's a bit of an intense requirement.
yeah. But Megumin just happens to be an archmage, the one of the strongest classes, but she's relatively useless because all she ever casts is
Yeah.
explosion magic. Granted, she's probably pretty good at it.
Actually, yeah,
So
they talk about
more
how
subversion.
her cast time is significantly reduced from what a normal explosion magic would be because you have to do that whole chant, but she can do the chant quickly enough to just like cast it, whereas a normal person has to do like a longer chant.
So Megumin's real special talent is rap music.
Yeah,
rap music.
She's a really good rapper.
yeah.
She's really fast.
Voice of a generation. Yo.
Well, that's one detail that they took
Yeah.
out that made it worse in the manga is that every time she casts explosion magic in the anime, it's a completely different chant. She makes one individually for each situation they're in and each different
I like her
explosion
chants.
she's casting.
Yeah, there's not a lot of fanfare, honestly, with her chants in
I
the
like them,
manga.
though.
They
It's
just
just
sort
like,
of do them.
I'm gonna do explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the chants. I enjoy the
yeah.
scene because it's like
Yeah,
she's
they use a
doing
lot of
some
nice special effects
crazy
and stuff like
and she's
that.
like saying this whole like metal ass poem, like
Yeah.
fucking James Dio wrote her spells for her.
All right, so like she decides because she's a lolly and she's ended up covered in slime from the frogs because she blew up
Oh,
like
that was a good section.
She blew up 3 of the frogs,
Yeah,
but then
'cause they-
like 2 more came out and they can't even handle
Made
one
her.
by themselves, so they
Because
got
they're
eaten.
testing her out. Like they're testing the waters with her. I hit the cord. I hit it.
so they're testing.
They're testing her out
So
with
they're-
like they're testing the waters by like bringing her on a mission
to fight giant
to
frogs.
fight giant frogs, and then the frogs she kills like 3 frogs, and they're all like, "Oh, we're gonna be the best with this explosion magic."
Mm-hmm.
And then she passes out, and then they're like,
2 more
"Oh,
come, and
no."
then it eats both Aqua and her, and Cosma has to save them both. And I don't think, because in the other one they kill him, and I don't know if he kills them in this one.
They cut past it.
Okay, so, and then of course she uses the lolly thing. It's like, I'm covered in mucus. I don't have another party. I'm going to blackmail this man.
She blackmails him
She blackmails him
because
into.
it looks like they did weird sex shit.
Yeah, it looks like they did weird sex shit.
But they didn't.
She's
And
underage.
Sadly,
underage.
they only did
I don't-
regular frog
The
shit.
question is there an age of consent in this world? That's the important question.
That is the important question.
They
I wonder that
do-
in every anime that I watch.
They do directly address rape in this show when they
That
talk
doesn't
about
have to do with the age
No, but
necessarily.
here's the thing: they talk about how male adventurers just get their asses beat if they try and rape a female adventurer,
Right.
because like they have
Yeah.
nothing except like they have to live in like the stables. They don't have a particularly like high job satisfaction
which is why
rate.
the succubi are so popular.
So the succubi are popular because they like sell, which they actually kept that story
The succubi
good.
was a really cool
in the
story.
anime.
Well, it's an important story as to the relationship between Darkness and Kazuma.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like
Logan, are you kidding
okay,
me?
in
They
the
were in
second
the bath together.
in the second season.
We haven't introduced darkness yet, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
And
okay.
I got to do
Right.
continuity.
Talk about her, and then I'm going
Okay.
to talk about how
So,
it's important. that
Megumin blackmails her way in,
She washes
and
back.
Darkness overhears how he does this weird sex play with young girls, and how he's sort of like torturing Aqua and Megumin. Of course, all rumors, because Kazuma actually just hates all these people.
Yeah.
Darkness, a paladin who is a huge masochist, comes over
yeah,
to
I like
Kazuma.
darkness too.
Darkness is
Essentially frothing at the mouth, like, you mistreat people, I need to come to this party.
Just like you abuse women.
Because
Sign me up.
the reason she becomes an adventurer, because she also has like this cool side where it's like, yeah, I'm a crusader knight, and I have
And
my
Cosmo is
duty,
also-
but also I want to get raped by
And
monsters.
Cosmo's also very sexually attracted to Darkness, like, just like,
but he like
It's his
thinks
type-
she's a scum person.
it's his type, but then he's also like, wait, this lady wants to be forcibly raped and like put down by monsters and bad people.
Yeah, he's like, she's too extreme for me.
So
So it's like, she has a shitty personality too. I can't find a good person here.
yeah, okay.
I can't be happy.
So I'm gonna talk you through why the scene in which he nearly has sex with Darkness is important to their character relationship. All right. So in the succubi thing, he goes. They meet some succubi. It's like a side story that happens.
Succubi give male adventurers
Sex
dirty dreams that they can sort of relieve themselves with, rather than like having to go rape a female adventurer. or
In
something
return
like that.
for coexistence
in a return for coexistence, and I think a little bit of money.
and some money. Well, you need money to exist.
Yeah, coexistence. So, and he pays for this, but he also lives he just lives with like 3 other girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he thinks he falls asleep, and that he's having the dream already because Darkness accidentally walks in while he's in the bath, and so he's like, oh, it's a bath scene, and then he's so forceful about telling her to like wash his back and stuff
Yeah.
that she's just not refusing.
into
In the
it.
manga,
Because she's into
in the
that.
manga, he says, "Oh well, I did write down on my sheet that I wanted somebody who didn't know the ways of the world and was kind of innocent."
Yeah.
It's like, I guess you fit the bill, Darkness, because I did pretty much like write down your description and everything about you except your blatant masochism.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Now get over here." It's like, wait. Is this what we're supposed to do? Is this how this works? Am I supposed to wash your back? Is this this is what culture is?
Is this how the
Yeah.
world is? Yeah. In the anime, I remember it was because he's just so forceful, and she's so like, it's so easy for her to succumb to forceful people.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. We had an extended pause like,
'Cause-
suddenly because everyone wants to come to the door. Everyone wants to come to the door.
Isekast equals party zone.
Yeah.
In that
Kinda
regard, though, we did pick up another person.
Stray
we
horse.
picked up a stray because we lost a horse. We lost
Had
our
to
sad
shoot a
horse.
We lost Sad Horse, the guy who insisted that we do
Yeah.
Konosuba.
Here's the thing: he
So-
was a sad horse, So we actually didn't have to shoot him because he shot himself.
We picked up a horse expert. What was your name again? The land horse.
Named Jeff.
No.
Shit.
It's Jeff the
You
no
guys
land
lied to me
horse.
about what his name was.
Jeff the no land horse.
We didn't
It's
come up
not
with a
Jeff.
name for him. He's
Jeff Horse.
he's here. Jeff Horse.
Named Jeff Horse.
Please think of him nothing more as
Beating the dead meme horse.
Yes, the meme horse, and also more or less just like a stand-in.
Oh, you fucking bumped it.
Yeah, I fucking bumped
Okay,
it again.
so
I
he's
talk
fake.
with hand gestures. He's a stand-in for our resident sad horse
Yeah.
who died this
Yeah,
episode.
and just like him, he didn't read the manga or know anything about it. So
So
we got it.
let's move
Sure to
on. We
listen.
were talking about
Randomly.
Darkness joining up, and Darkness's whole thing is that she's a Templar sort of knight thing.
Right, I was on a rant. I was going to talk about how the succubus thing is important for the relationship between Darkness and Cosma.
Yeah.
Because in the second season, this
Wanda?
establishes Darkness's sexual attraction to Cosma, because in the second season she ends up going on this whole like rampage where she realizes that her perfect man is one who is an absolute scumbag and will treat her like shit. And so she talks about how she's like, I want someone who will just like use my body like a tool, and then like spend my entire family's fortune, and then when we're finally on the streets and have no money, he'll say, hey, go use that disgusting body of yours to go make us some money, and then he'll whore me out on the streets for money.
Duncan, I'm sorry, but you given the speech like I gotta go take a cold shower. Do we have another break?
So then she's gonna be forced into a marriage with some guy that she doesn't really know. But he ends up being like this amazing guy. Like he's a really nice person,
Oh, bad
and
news
he's
for her.
really motivated. And he's like, I'm really earnest about like this marriage. Like I want to, make something out of this. And then he sees the relationship between Cosima and Darkness, and he's like, oh, you two are perfect for each other. And then he's like, and then Cosmo's just like, no, excuse me, no.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Cosma treats her poorly
He does.
because he likes her body but just hates her personality.
Hates her.
That's why he treats her
And
poorly.
so her
Which
way
is perfect
Really?
for her though.
Cosma
And
died
it's
because
the relationship
he was
works.
trying to save a girl, but then
Yeah.
died of shock. He's not really a bad person. He's just in a bad scenario.
He just doesn't like her, but that's okay.
He's a hickey
Like,
neat, but like he's
scummy to the potential that every hiki neat in the world is.
but he at least has like a sense of morality, as where the people around him are either incompetent or like just
Immoral.
like too sexually motivated by being raped or
Yeah.
You're just specifically mean Darkness.
Yes, in Darkness.
She's the only character like that.
I don't know. I mean, Megumin's a useless wizard who can only
Yeah, so he said useless or motivated by being
Yeah,
raped.
yeah.
Aqua and Megumin are useless, and
Yeah.
Darkness is motivated by being raped.
Yeah. But
so-
Aqua's also hot. Megumin's not hot though. Just
Yeah.
clarify that right
Speaking
now.
I just want to
I
say
never
something.
said that.
I just
Speaking
want to
of
say
what?
something about Aqua real quick. In the manga, they show her panties, and in
Yes.
the anime,
That's
they
a huge
specifically say, "No, normal perverted minds can't see my panties." So it just always like
Yeah, Nolan, I want to explain to you the glory that is this character's ass.
Well, speaking of Cosmo, did you guys know Timmy was an average kid that nobody understood?
Go on.
I fucking forget.
Mom and
Congratulations.
Dad and Vicky
You're welcome.
Vicky,
always sending him to bed.
bad twerp.
Okay.
Okay.
I think they gave him
see-
demands at some point.
You see,
but I'm not
Aqua's
certain.
Aqua's ass. All right. So in the
Women
manga,
gives
they
a
draw
thumbs
her
up.
panties,
I'm
whereas
all
in
about
the
an anime ass.
in
all right?
in the anime,
guy.
they're very specific about how it never looks like she has underwear on, but you
Yes.
never quite see her
Yes,
snatch.
I know what Duncan's talking about, and I appreciate that he's brought this point
All right,
up.
it's just barely out of sight, and you can always see almost her whole ass. And they're all
It
like,
seems like
hey,
she's not wearing
why don't you
panties,
wear underwear? And then she's like, no, I do, but perverted minds can't see it. So then perverted people can't see my underwear.
So it's just
Nobody
person-
sees her underwear. Everyone's just a fucking pervert.
and in the manga they show it, and
And it ruins it.
it ruins it.
Mind you, they show it one time, but they don't have any of the obvious ass shots
Yeah,
that they
no,
have,
no. There's yeah.
and that's disappointing. That's the
Anyways.
best part about her character.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yes,
because it was probably added in the anime as where they didn't think
Yeah.
of it in the manga.
No,
Well, in
I
the
really
light
want
novel,
Yeah,
to.
you're probably right because the light novel wouldn't have like had it because
I wouldn't have described every ass shot.
I don't know if the light novel's
If
like.
I wrote a light novel, it would.
I don't know if the light novel's any different on any sort of like level, but I'm just gonna say it seems like the manga is a lot less enjoyable and funny compared to the anime.
Yeah.
because it
Yeah,
seems like
the anime's
they
better.
really ran with it in the anime and made it exceptionally funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for an isekai.
Okay,
Yeah.
but to cap off darkness,
They fucked with it real good.
the way that she gets out of the prearranged marriage is that she pretends. Well, she says to her parents that she's pregnant with Kazuma's child, and he's like, "Excuse me, why are you just gonna make that up?" And he's really mad about it.
Like I love this idea that he has all these people around him, but they're fucking useless and he hates them. And it's like,
Well, and that's what one of the best chapters that they made manga that like isn't in the anime that they made in the manga was the chapter in which he switched parties.
yeah.
So-
oh my god, I can't believe that they
was
didn't
so
put that
good.
in.
That is so good.
So like they
is a big miss.
established their party and like Cosma. Oh, can we actually go back for a second because I want to talk a little bit more about
no,
certain things
go,
before-
no, going back.
Okay, no, we're going back just
Shit.
a little bit. Okay,
Shit.
You
So-
overruled me.
you're a guest here.
I'm a guest. You should treat me politely.
So Cosmo is trying to learn skills and stuff like that, and he meets Chris, Darkness's sort of like thief friend that teaches him
Yeah.
a few thief skills.
And he gets the steel underwear.
He gets the steal skill, and this is pretty representative in the
Anime.
manga.
It's a relatively shit skill unless
Yeah.
you have stupid high luck.
And he has
Right,
exceptionally
yeah,
high
makes
luck, and the
sense.
luckiest thing Cosmo could think to grab would be
Pants.
women's underwear.
I think that's just like the universal fact.
So
really.
every time
Or
he
so-
uses steel on a girl, he takes their underwear.
right.
And
He's
I wanna-
not intending to, but because
I
of
have
his
a
high
quote
luck.
here. When he uses it on Megumin, he says, "It's gentle." Just like on the side, he pulls it out,
there
and
was
he's like, "It's
a-
gentle."
An atrocity in that panel.
Yeah, there
All right,
was.
because her underwear was white, whereas Megumin's underwear would very obviously and explicitly be black.
Yes. Clearly.
Which they
Thank
show
you.
in the anime.
Yes. Yes.
I also want to say
I
something.
knew exactly where he's going.
There's something also towards the end of the manga where, at least the end of the first part, where he does it on Darkness's bra, the steel skill.
No, he does that to Aqua.
No, it's not to Aqua in the manga. It's to Darkness.
Is it to Darkness?
Yeah,
No,
I thought it
towards
was
the
to
end.
Aqua in
It was
that
towards
panel.
the end. I know because
How did I forget this? Seems super important for
Well,
women.
he ends up taking a bra instead of panties.
yeah.
That's
So
probably
he-
why I didn't
Which is
notice.
why I thought it was Aqua.
no, it's because it's too big. It's usually
Yeah, you're right.
Darkness's.
It's too big. It has to be Darkness.
So
This is such
the
a
le-
great discussion.
The level of detail of this piece of underwear is so
It's a
shocking.
really,
This illustrator
really
has not
drawn.
gone into extensive details, and sometimes even like drawing the characters in like that little sort of like chibi format,
Yeah.
rather than actually taking the effort to draw out the full
but
models.
on this
Yeah.
bra,
On this bra, they put all of the effort that they should have into the normal character designs, and just like went ham. It is
Yeah.
like intricate.
That's
it's an important
very
moment.
happy for me. I feel good.
I
about
thought it was
that.
a glossy JPEG just placed inside the manga.
No,
We
it's
stole this from
just a
Victoria's
really
Secret
well-drawn-
catalog. We just
really
clipped
well
the
drawn
picture
bra.
out.
So okay, I'm gonna talk about the party thing.
Yeah.
So it ends up basically going around like people are
Best
jealous.
chapter. Best
Jealous.
chapter.
Yeah, it's really the best chapter. So people
is
are
very
jealous of Cosma because they're all like, you've got a harem of beautiful women, you're a low class adventurer, and they're all like super high tier. You've got an archpriest, an archwizard, and a knight crusader.
It's like, what do
in
you
your
do? Do
party.
you carry the gear?
Yeah, and he's like, no, I'm the leader, and they're like, bullshit, and they're like, oh, you've just got this harem of women, you're living the high life, and he's like, dude, fuck you,
Do you want to? It's like,
dude, you want to fucking switch? I'll fucking switch in a
the
heartbeat.
drunk guy's like, I bet you, like, it's like, I bet you wouldn't switch in a million years. And he's like, or something like that.
Yeah, and he's like, I'll switch now.
A
I'll switch
motherfucker.
now.
he's like, don't you dare say that the things that I've done have been fun.
He's very upset.
And so And so the guy's like,
flames.
all right, I'm sorry, I went too far. And he's like, no, switch with me.
But are you
no,
serious
do
about
it.
switching?
Are you serious about that? And he's like, I guess.
So they switch for a
And
day.
so they switch, and he switches to a normal party, and then he's like really useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he like comes up with great plans, and like he uses magic in creative ways that they didn't think of.
He uses the fucking magic to throw sand in the tiger's
Yeah,
eyes.
he uses pocket sand.
He was
Dude,
like-
it is
he
in
was
every
like-
isekai manga
every
with
Yeah,
it's
isekai
fucking
manga.
magic.
Yeah, he was like the sand, and then he was like wind blow or whatever,
Yeah.
and I was like, what the fuck is he doing with create earth wind blow?
Yeah.
And I was like, he's gonna throw like a big boulder at him, and he
Just
fucking
pocket
throws the
sand.
sand. I was like,
And then
that's
he
just great.
uses stealth, and they're all like,
So,
I didn't even think you could do
I
that.
want to just summarize what he does with the normal party. Normal party goes off. They're going to go like get goblins, and he starts out just holding the gear because they're like, what are you gonna do? And they start talking. He's like, oh yeah, I was actually the leader in my other party. It's
And
like,
they're all
oh,
like, what?
what? Why? And then like they go and get to the goblins, and there's 30 goblins, something they couldn't handle. It's like, all right, let's do it. And he creates water and then freezes it over, and then like
they all
just,
just
they
slay
just
it.
coup de grace the goblins when they are on the ground.
It's like in Divinity.
Yeah.
When someone like tries to cast an ice spell at you, and then they run at you, and they just whoop whoop.
Yeah. So like he actually does pretty well, and then they run into this thing called a rookie slayer or something like that. It's just a giant tiger that's like too high level and eats rookies because they go.
Because what it does is it herds around low level monsters.
Yeah.
To make a quest so that rookie adventurers will show up and then eats the rookie adventurers.
Yeah. So they actually end up Cosma knows that they can't fight. I think they were originally thinking like the fighter guy's like, all right, you guys go, I'm gonna hold it off. Like the noble sacrifice, but he just splashes sand in its eyes
Yeah,
and
he
they
just
run.
throws sand in his eyes. They don't run. They jump in some bushes. Then he uses the stealth skill,
Yeah.
and they're all like super scared. And they're all like, "I had no idea you could do that. That was like you saved our lives."
I
And
could
he's
see
like-
why you're the leader in your other party.
And then he's like, "That was pretty easy. That was low tier."
And they're always in this entire chapter, they're always like sort of dressing up the fact it's like, oh, this destroys low level parties that go in here unprepared. Huh. I know that there's another low level party
Yeah.
in this area going on a goblin hunt.
so then it goes like they go back and they're all like, wow, if you'd like to join our party, we'd welcome you so much. And then he's like, yeah, I'll consider it. And then they find the other guy and they're like, hey, how was the party switch? And he was like, I'm sorry, please take me back.
He's visually battered. Like he's
Yeah. He's bleeding, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's like bleeding and
he's bleeding, and
hurt,
they forced him to
and
hold
he's
all the gear and
he's carrying
Megamin.
Megamine, yeah.
The gear and Megamin.
Megamine.
And he's like, it was
Worth it.
terrible. We were trying, and then they couldn't even handle the goblins, and then this girl passed out.
No.
And then a
They
rookie
didn't
slayer
make
shows
it to
up.
the goblins. The rookie slayer shows up as they were on their way to the goblins. Darkness runs at it because she sees a monster
But she can't hit it.
ready to beat. Like, no, I'm pretty sure it was more or less because she just wants to get hit by something that can.
Yeah,
Her,
Aqua's fucking useless.
because she's a healer.
Yeah,
It's not even that Aqua is like really bad at what she does. She's a healer, and
that's
she's
something
retarded.
they always do in the manga is that they don't reference the fact that she's like just a complete idiot. I mean, they do, but like it's never like she's just a huge idiot that doesn't make good decisions. They're like Aqua's just useless.
Yeah, it's literally just the fact that priest classes and healers are pretty useless if you don't take enough damage to need healing.
And Megaman tries to blow it up, and I think they say that it like dodged out of the way. So then she was just
She's done.
yeah, she's just done, and he had to essentially run away with all of them, carrying Megaman.
Yeah.
It's just
And he's just like, please switch. I won't ever make fun of you again, man. Just please let
And
me
I
back
was
to my own party.
super unhappy actually because members from this group, that one guy that switched with him and the ranger guy that was in the competent group, they actually come back up in the Succubi
Yeah.
quest, and they're the same characters in the anime
yeah, and they like
too.
hook him up with
yeah,
the succubi
in
in the
thing.
anime, they don't
They
go.
tell him about
So
the
I know
house.
this is in the light novel because when I was watching the anime, I looked up who those characters are, and it's like, oh yeah, in the light novel, there's this whole side story about how there was
Yeah.
a quest they went on, and he's very familiar with these guys, and they show up a couple times
Yeah,
because they're just friends of his now. They just don't show up that often because why would they show up that often? He's not like hanging out with them 24/7.
yeah.
Which the context of this quest existing is really good, and it sucks that that's not in the anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, they
a
only
big
did a
mud
10
mess.
episode run with the anime too, so they could have. And I want to talk about why they should have done the Japanese go to Japan episode 2.
Yeah.
But they just took out this, despite the fact that they totally could have scheduled in 2 more episodes and fit a standard.
Yeah, they really.
because it's only a 10 episode anime.
Yeah, if they fit a standard, they totally could have done it because that was not more than an episode's worth of content. Neither is the Japan
Yeah.
one. The
Yeah, they
Japan one
could
is
have done
probably
both
less
arcs.
than an episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, okay. So then let's actually talk about the Japan one because it happens fairly close to.
Well, we got to introduce Wiz.
Oh
for that.
right.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
pretty simple. Wiz is
yeah, they
my
go-
personal favorite, actually. I think.
Wiz is pretty sweet.
They go to a graveyard because they're sent on a quest. Like, hey, there's a zombie raiser, which is just a kind of monster that raises zombies, and they're going to subjugate it for a quest. And they find Wiz there, who's actually a lich, which is like a legendary tier monster.
Can I
but-
just say this much about Wiz? Her character design is probably the only one I like more in the manga than in the anime.
Hey Duncan, are you sure a zombie razor isn't like
A necro?
like a tie-in to our Dollar Shave Club sponsor?
I don't have.
Thank you for bringing that up. We'd completely forgotten about
I know
our
Dollar
sponsors.
Shave.
All right, let me just count the number of beards in the room. 1, 2, 3. I don't think a shave
That's
club.
3 beards
Okay,
and 4
but
boys.
fuck
That
you-
means at least one
fuck
could have
you, I
shaved.
actually get packages from Dollar Shave Club. So
Hey, look, I trimmed.
We are not actually sponsored by.
I
no,
do
we're not
too.
sponsored by anyone. We're on episode 3 of a podcast with 100 views.
I
on
And
subscribe
nobody
to
should
Dollar-
watch. Nobody should be
I
watching
also
this.
subscribe to
Stop
Harry's
watching right
Razor, and
now.
every month I throw out the packages from both.
Okay.
I could give them to poor people, but I don't.
We wouldn't accept money from
It wouldn't
anybody.
be fun.
We're doing God's work here.
I would fuck you. I will accept money from anyone. If you
If there's any like
would-
call girl companies,
Give me
who
money.
There's
sponsor
a
me.
dollar, Duncan.
dude, fuck yes. I literally have no money right now.
You have to pay me too.
Oh
though, 'cause
God,
I'm
Nolan's
all-
our first sponsor.
Oh
Alright,
shit! That means he
episode-
gets to dictate the content for
Episode
the
3
episode.
of the Isekast, sponsored by Mr.
No more
Nolan.
saying the word
Only
the.
talk
Mr.
about
Nolan, no land horse.
anime
Yeah.
boobs.
I'm gonna.
Oh, okay. I like the sponsor.
All
That's
right.
the dollar.
Let's talk.
the dollar.
Let's talk then about how Wiz is. I mean, she's just.
Wiz has the biggest
Good
tits out of
chest.
any
yeah,
character
good chest.
in
That's why Logan
Konosuba.
likes her.
So, except
like
for
to hear.
with the exception of one of the 3 succubi that you see in certain panels,
Yeah.
one of them has bigger tits. So much so that she is the only succubi that inspired her own dojin, separate from every other character.
What's her name?
They don't have give her a name.
The nameless tip.
How do I find the dojin?
I'm.
N hentai,
Yes.
Konosuba,
Okay.
popular. It's like
Okay.
the 6th result.
I just
Okay,
want to
cool.
say,
I'll fi-
Wiz is really underrepresented in the manga,
Good-
though.
good
As much as
website.
I like her design
Yeah.
better in the manga, I just think. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I think she's cuter in the manga than the anime, but she doesn't have much character.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I didn't know who she
Because-
was. Also, did they have that whole zombie raising thing in the manga?
Yes, it did.
I must have
It's in the
just
first
skipped that
couple.
on
It's actually
accident.
in the first couple chapters.
Oh, that
Yeah.
must have skipped that one. Yeah, okay. 'Cause
so-
I was like, who the fuck
Yeah, so they
is
go to the
this?
cemetery and they're trying to find the zombie razor and they find Wiz instead and then Aqua was like, "Oh, fuck me up a lich because I'm a goddess and I can just punch it." And
Turn undead.
yeah, and then they end up fucking Wiz up really bad and
It
then
really
she's
makes-
like, "Wait, I'm here to get rid of the ghosts."
It really makes you think. If you think about it, Aqua has this sort of level of effectiveness against like the generals of the Demon King and like liches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it's more or less like she's the isekai protagonist who's gonna kill the Demon
Okay,
King.
if you want to put it
Yeah, you're
in
right.
terms
She
of
is technically an isekai protagonist also, just like Kazuma.
if you want to put
Female
it,
protagonist.
if you want to put it in
even better.
terms of like D&D characters, her turn undead spell is like a 20th level cleric channel.
Yeah.
Like she can pretty much use destroy undead as at will.
Yeah.
I bumped the cord.
Stop doing
I'm
that.
fucking dead. So she goes to
one more.
she goes to destroy
Shinderu.
Wiz like
Shinderu.
Nani. So
Nanny.
nanny the fuck. So she
Nanny
goes to
Cam.
destroy Wiz, and then she's
Hot
like, "Wait,
call.
I'm here to kill ghosts," and and then they're all like,
That's
"What?"
our
And then she explains her situation. She's like, "I'm this person."
Hamster.
The town doesn't want to spend money on actually sending poor people into the afterlife, so me as a lich am gonna do it.
Yeah, so she's doing that, and then they let her go, and then they later see her in a shop, and it turns out she's like, this important figure in the town because everyone's like, she's the good old shopkeep, but she's actually one of the Demon King's generals, and a lich.
And that's actually where the thing that I want to talk about comes in next, the Japan story arc, because they get the box that transports them back to Japan
Yeah, she has
from Wiz.
She has a shop that just sells useless magical items, which they go into so much more in the anime about her shop.
Yeah, they do.
Her shop is just a shop of useless garbage, but it's all like really powerful useless garbage. So it's like, here's a collar that you can put on yourself to motivate yourself to get stuff done. Every day it shrinks a little bit if you don't accomplish the goal you set for yourself, and it'll kill you.
Oh, I remember hearing something actually about
Fucking magical.
I can't
choker.
remember where I heard this. It was on some TV show, but it was Nathan For You, where he sends himself letters. No, he sends out letters to family members showing the most embarrassing thing, and they're set to send out by a certain day unless if he can complete a certain task.
That's fucked.
And he does this for for example,
So Woodman is peeing right now.
He is peeing right now.
Woodman is
Put that
peeing.
out there.
I left the door open.
He did. He left the
do
door.
that.
the conversation.
But so that's just kind of funny. It correlates. It's like in the episode he was in a taco or something like that, completely naked. And
Yeah.
he'd sent it.
One of the OVAs is about Cosmo wearing that choker, and he just like everyone's like, well, we don't want you to die, so we'll because what he does is he's like, oh, I fucked up. I said I want to achieve my heart's desire. That's what he said before he put on the choker, but he has no fucking clue what his heart's desire is. Because he's a person. He doesn't know the one thing he wants more than anything else. So he's like,
Probably boning.
yeah, so that's what he goes straight to. He goes straight to everyone do perverted shit in front of me. So he makes Megumin and
Bend over,
Union play
Megumin.
strip rock paper scissors.
Oh, that's a good idea.
He lays
That's
face.
so specific to be a heart's desire.
Yeah.
I want my lolly friend and my goddess friend to start.
No. Megumin and Union.
Union. Oh, okay.
doesn't show up in the manga.
Uh,
Now, is Union Megumin's sister?
Oh
No,
wait.
she's Megumin's childhood friend.
That's so much better than if it was Aqua, though. that
U-
makes it a lot.
Union's pretty close though to being my
she's
favorite.
pretty hot.
Union's
I haven't
proof that
met
the South
Union.
will never rise again.
Based on Union images, I like her a lot.
Yeah.
But I haven't met her in the
Hand
fucking
me a
So-
series
soda,
yet.
Duncan. It's fucking
Dude, seriously.
Hit the mic directly.
Poor fucking dead horse.
Not the best idea. That's my nice equipment.
It's an empty cardboard box.
It's also on this track now.
Is there no soda?
But I'm the one who has to deal with that.
I'm just saying, don't throw boxes at my nice microphones and mixers.
So, Union.
really serious.
So the relationship between Megumin and Union is that Megumin was really poor, but the best in the class, and so Megumin and Union always had competitions with each other, and Megumin would just crush her at everything. Union was the daughter of the chieftain of the Crimson Demon tribe, but she had no friends. She had no friends and was really lonely all the time.
Okay.
So
they
Megumin
became
was
lovers.
poor and would just eat just garbage, and Union
it.
would have
She's
these
trash
grand
girl. That's my favorite.
things there's a scene in which it shows all of the most embarrassing moments in their lives, and all of the most embarrassing moments for Megumin is her eating shit she finds, and her little sister being like,
entire
"Wow, you're
existence
amazing," and then
Megumin the trash girl.
and then for
is
Union,
truly my
it's,
waifu.
it's birthdays where no one is there, and she's celebrating her own birthday by herself.
I love Union already.
So
I'm just gonna look up pictures of Union.
yeah, she's good.
I'm gonna. I keep jumping back to things that I keep forgetting to mention because I actually do have a lot of.
Wait, I need to finish one thing. I need to finish what everyone does for the choker.
Okay.
I need to. So.
Yeah, he does.
What he does
That's
for
important.
Aqua. Aqua expects like every time she comes up, she's like, "You're gonna force this goddess to do perverted things," and then he's like, "Go get me food." And then she's like, and then the
Fuck
thing
yeah.
that offends her is that she's the only one he's not forcing to do perverted things. Because
Yeah,
he's like,
that makes sense. I'd
he's
be
like,
offended
I'm
by
not
that,
attracted
too.
to you, and she's
Yeah.
just like so broken by how he's not attracted to her. And then Darkness, he makes wear like only the tight Under Armour that's under her armor, and then
choice.
do exercises in front of him.
Good decision, Kazuma. Was that an
And then he
extended
lays
sequence?
face down and whizzes thighs.
Oh, very good choice, Kazuma.
I have
her
a hard
breasts
time
was-
believing that this is his heart's desire. Any of these things.
it
Yeah,
isn't.
I know, right? These are so
isn't.
tame.
What happens is he's gonna die. Like at the very end of the episode, he's like on the brink of death, and he's like releasing all of his regrets, and he's like talking to all of them, and he just tells them all the horrible shit he thinks about them.
Oh my God, his heart's desire is this.
And so he tells fucking Darkness is amazing. He goes, Darkness, ever since you've came to our party, the only thing I've thought of you is boobs. You're only boobs. When I see you, I think boobs. Your entire existence in every bit is boobs. You are boobs.
That's pretty demeaning. She was probably turned on by that.
And then in Aqua, he's like, I've been trying so hard to see you as the heroine of the story.
That's how my uncle sees me.
Yeah.
That's the heroine of the story.
No, it's only boobs.
He's like, I've been trying so hard to see you as the heroine of the story, as a beautiful goddess that I could fall in love with. It's not gonna happen. That's no way. And then he's like, Megumin, every time I carried you back from the explosions, I would purposely shift your body so that I could feel your small chest on my back. and
Normally, I would approve
I
of
would
that, but since I recently
I would
found out her
secretly
age,
feel
I
you
don't
up
like
a little bit while carrying you. And he's like, and then with that, I can die peacefully. And then the collar comes off, and he's like, oh, that's what I wanted. That was my heart's desire, is to tell everyone what I thought. And then they're all just like, hey, you want to put that collar back on?
Hey, you want to just fucking die?
It's a pretty fucking
That's
good
really
OVA.
good. That's really great.
Yeah, I support that.
Yeah.
I like the Megumin part especially.
So,
But I also like the darkness part.
All right,
the
I
Aqua
want
part,
to
too.
I want to like spitball some things real quickly here. All right, so
delicious.
Wiz is also I said Whis.
That's a character from Ruby. Gosh.
No, that's a fucking character, from Dragon Ball
Super too.
East? I thought you said Weast.
Why is the No Life King such a popular fucking name?
It's a thing from old JRPGs.
Whatever.
What does it
That's
mean?
just one of my bullet points.
It's just like a trope from old JRPGs.
What is the No Life King?
The
mean,
No Life
though?
King is like a lich.
Okay.
but it's like-
he's dead.
It's
No
the name
life.
for the big bad lich of whatever story.
Okay.
It's the king of being an undead.
Okay, I thought it was like a Hikikimori thing.
No.
Duncan,
Okay, I got
you're
you.
a no life king.
Yeah. That's
Fucking
me.
got him.
That's why I'm Hunter
Wow.
rank 12 already, and Monster Hunter has been out for like 2 days.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Catching up real quickly. So, there's a side story in the manga that's a little bit less spectacular than they go to Japan and the normal party
Nihon.
side stories. They go bamboo shoot hunting for a golden bamboo shoot. And in the manga, they portray this a lot better. All the food, like all the produce, seems to like have autonomy and sentience.
It's not something I knew about in the anime, but all produce, all grown food has a degree of sentience.
So the bamboo shoots are hostile because they're like, hell no, are we just gonna sit back and let people pick us?
So is all other vegetables.
So the golden they're searching for the golden bamboo shoot, but like these shoots just come out of the ground like spikes.
And they just try and attack you because they don't want to be eaten.
And this is this is the one arc that I'm like, I can see why they didn't put this in the anime, because like they go do it and it's like they're shooting out of the ground. It's like if you're just unlucky or stand in the wrong spot, something very bad could happen.
They shoot up your ass.
and
And then they mention if it's a girl, then this becomes R-rated and we can't show the rest of this.
And darkness is
now I remember this
and then
chapter.
darkness is just like, all right, so if I stand about here and then I'm like, oh god, that was quite a step for that character.
Yeah.
And then it shoots up Cosmo's ass right
Yeah,
here.
it
The
shoots
golden
right-
one.
The golden one shoots right up his ass because he's got the high luck. He's got the high luck.
The high luck is why it went up his ass.
Yeah, well, it's why the golden one.
No, you have it back.
I really like to think about how luck is like this sort of subconscious thing for him.
Yeah,
where it's
yeah.
like he's lucky, yes, but like
He's
it's
lucky.
what he truly wants.
Oh
it's
my
what
God.
he wants.
Oh
There's a
yeah.
scene in
What he
the
doesn't
second-
He's
even-
lucky that the golden bamboo tickled his
Yeah,
prostate.
there's a scene in the second season that I completely forgot in which him and Aqua are like arguing over who is gonna sit in the front seat of inside of a carriage because sitting in the back seat would like really hurt.
Oh, during the lizard thing.
Yeah, and they do rock paper scissors and he wins like 15 times in a row and she's like, this is unfair. It's supposed to be random and he's like, no, and she's like, this is your cheat skill, and then he just berates her.
Last time someone beat me 15 times in a row
Your cheat skill
was
is-
Street Fighter, and then I punched a hole in my
Oh,
closet.
oh no, that's not true. You see, last time someone
And
beat
then
you
your
15
parents
times
were
in a row was
disappointed in you.
yesterday, motherfucker.
No,
when I
that's
beat
not
the
15 times in a row.
fuck out of you.
You beat me 5
Every
times.
time I look
then
at
I
Dead
beat you.
Horse,
No,
he
I
looks
beat you 5
away
times, then you beat me
quickly.
once, then I beat you 15 times.
No.
Yeah.
Not 15.
Mm-hmm.
I counted. It was only 12.
He can
Only
hear me 'cause
12.
he's wearing
I
the
forgot.
headphones, even
But
though
I
I'm
didn't punch a
whispering
hole
from
'cause of
across
you.
the room.
And I kind of want to ask a question. So like, the supporting cast in Konosuba is like in the manga at least is kind of better.
Yeah.
Because they introduce more characters that have a
Yeah.
little bit more depth to them.
They flesh out the main cast less, but the supporting cast more.
yeah.
So you have to watch both to get the full perspective of the story.
And I kind of don't. I mean, like they had the space to do it though. They had the space to
They
flesh
did,
out
yeah.
the. Because
were cheap.
Wiz is more
Yeah.
fleshed out in the anime.
I saw watching Ruby look. It's fucking you up.
Okay, if
it is Dragon Ball Super. I only see
yeah, I
Whis
know.
as Dragon Ball Super.
If
I'm
you
kidding,
want to
'cause
be
it's Weiss
if you
in the
want to be
movie,
super
though.
correct about it, in the anime, the way they say it is Wizu.
Weezu.
Whatever.
I think it's
Uh,
Wiz. I think it's
Weezer?
whatever. It's
But the
good
supporting
response.
cast in the manga is just like stronger, and I just don't know why that they. I just
Mainly
don't know
because they have the
I
fucking
don't
arc
understand the
with
10th
other party.
episode.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the
well,
10 episode
maybe it's because
format.
the time slot they got was taken up for 2 episodes for like an OVA series that was airing.
Okay, whatever.
Or that wouldn't
Yeah,
be
it was-
OVA
there
because
was,
OVA means only video available.
There was Girls in Panzer OVAs they had to do. I watched those too. They were very good.
Well, there you go.
Didn't jerk
All
off.
right.
of
That's
course.
why.
OVA stands for ovulating vagina area.
Let's talk about
That
the most.
is incorrect.
Let's talk about the most
But I would
meta
wish it
thing
were
in this in this meta isekai, the isekai.
Yeah. So in a chapter after Aqua goes on a mission, mostly done just by her, which was actually really different in this, because they needed to show Darkness being mostly undressed, which they didn't do in the anime.
Thank God I read the manga.
Yeah. So they have this quest in which Aqua goes to purify a lake that a bunch of alligators are in, and if she purifies it, they'll go away. So what she does is she gets in a cage, and then just purifies the water
Yeah.
because they throw the cage in
It's
the
a good
water.
plan, though. It
And
makes
then they're like,
sense.
then we can purify, and it works in the anime. It doesn't work in the manga. But she just sits there in the cage purifying, and then a bunch of alligators come up like they expect, and that's
Oh,
what the cage is for.
Right, that
But-
one panel with fucking darkness.
Yeah.
And then the
But then
alligators
they-
are just so conspicuous,
Yeah.
just tearing off the right
Yep.
pieces of clothing.
So in
Also, Aqua was wet in the cage as well.
yeah.
So it was a 2-for-1. Good
so
deal.
in the anime, it's only Aqua in the cage, and just the whole thing goes by, and she's in the cage, and she completes it just fine. But like she's traumatized.
Right,
and
which
all of her
makes it even
clothing is
better.
wet, which is great.
I think
Oh,
that they
yeah.
specifically didn't show Darkness coming to help her.
No, none of them came to help her.
No, yeah, but they specifically didn't show the fact that Darkness in the manga comes to help her because
And gets most of her clothing torn off.
because it's essentially like really built. It's like almost rapey.
Yeah.
like this is very
Pretty
rapey.
close, pretty
This
on
is
the edge.
pretty.
And
I've seen some pretty rapey stuff that goes
the
further
thing
than
is
that in anime.
They give a
though.
relatively good reason in that all of her defense skills
Like attack- like
make
sword
her
art only.
body defendable, but why would it make her clothing defendable?
Right.
So her clothing comes off really easily.
Thank
but
God.
but her
I mean, thank
skin
Aqua.
is still really hard to penetrate, and so she's not like bleeding
Good
everywhere.
addiction.
Her clothing is just coming off,
Yeah.
which is literally exactly
That's
what
usually
she
what
wants.
they do, but it makes sense in
But the
this
thing
one,
is
like
that
canonically.
she intentionally made it that way
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
because she wants it to be rapey.
Yeah.
All right.
Darkness is all about she's a real crusader doing the Lord's work, putting on a good show.
They sort of
for
just
us.
keep this cage now after they sort of fail this mission in the manga.
Yeah.
And then
Sexy.
in the next chapter, Aqua runs into it after stealing
Oh, yeah.
Cosmo's food. And then we get our main boy, Mitsurigi Kyoya, another isekai protagonist.
He's another person that Aqua isekai'd into the same place.
Yes.
But actually gave him a cheat item, the demon sword
Garm?
Graham.
Oh, shit.
Gorn? Something like
How
that.
awkward.
Gorn.
I think it was Gorn. No,
That's
it was
from
Gorn
fucking
because
Dungeons and
we were
Dragons.
playing Gorn.
Yeah, it
And I was like,
Gorn.
oh, it's Gorn.
Okay.
So she gives him the demon sword Gorn, which is just like a stupid OP sword that only he can use because it's bound.
Yeah.
So he shows up and he's like, the goddess Aqua, oh my god, you're here.
What
Why
do
are
you-
you in a cage? And he's like, she just
And
ran into the cage.
They explain the setting, and it's like, you brought Aqua to this place?
Yeah, and he's like, oh, you took these 3 adorable girls. Why would you do this? And he's like, hey,
He's like,
don't fuck with me, dude.
He's like, you don't want him. He's like,
don't.
you don't want any of this.
You don't
And
want none of this
and then
shit.
he ignores
Step the fuck down.
he not making it sound like he's like, hey, don't take my shit. He's like, you don't want my shit. But he ignores Cosmo and is just like, ladies, would you like to come into my party? And they're all like,
And they're like, dude, you're fucking sketchy.
you're fucking gay and sketchy, dude.
Sketch, bro.
It's they're like, firstly, that's kind of fucking sketch. Secondly, you're kind of a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Third, dude, fuck off.
Even the goddess that sent him here is just like,
Yeah, she's like, no, you're kind of a nerd loser.
so like he just like eventually goes into like he duels
Yeah, he duels the guy and then just uses steel and takes his sword.
yeah.
And he's like, hey, I really need that sword. And he's like, no. And then he leaves.
No.
He leaves with his like super legendary mega weapon.
And then like the next chapter he just sells
In the
it.
next chapter,
Yeah.
the guy comes back. He's like, all right, I understand I lost, but I really need that sword back. You can't even use it, man. Just please give me the sword back. And they're all like, and then Megumin's like, oh, he doesn't have it. And then he's like, what do you mean he doesn't have it? And he's like, sold it for money. Why wouldn't I sell it?
He probably got a lot for that. And I do want to say something about Konosuba's story format. They tie in a lot of their side stories into the main quest line because they do bring up Kyoya later where it's like,
Yeah,
we have a
because-
level 36 hero here in town. We can beat the Doulahan who's trying to invade.
And then the Doulahan tries to invade, and he's like, oh shit, I sold that guy's sword.
So then they have to end up fighting him with just like,
With Aqua just easily beating him.
yeah, Aqua just easily beat him and Cosmo stole his head because he kept using his
Yeah,
head.
Cosmo uses steel, and then it's up.
Doulahans being the
his
sort of like undead
Yeah,
ghost knights that can that have separated heads.
A Doulahan is, the headless horseman.
But his horse
Uh,
was also headless, wasn't it?
What?
If you've seen the anime
Was it?
I
then
think it was.
yeah, think that.
Dude, da, da, da.
Does she have a head somewhere?
I know
Yes,
what
she
you're
does.
talking
That
about.
is
but I ain't
actually a
seen it.
very specific part of the story.
Oh, I've never gone through to her. I think.
Bakuno's better.
Yeah,
wow,
well-
shit, throwing down right now. The comment section's gonna be all ablaze.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing, Durarara, she's a hot girl in that though,
And
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
not a hot girl.
and to my knowledge, there aren't as many hot girls in Bakuno. Mind you, I haven't seen either.
I mean, it's debatable.
Debatable. Okay.
I don't know.
Uh,
I have a thing. There's a French one in Baccano. I mean, she's silent too, but I don't know.
Good.
I like.
Seen and not heard.
yeah.
I don't know. I gotta say,
Exactly.
Fuck.
the main thing that kept me going in Fallout 4 is literally just Curie's comments. I really like French accents for some
You
reason.
like French girls?
Yeah.
You like
Well,
jazz?
You like jazz?
Wee senpai.
All right. What's left? What's left in Konosuba? Let's lightning round this.
They beat the dual hand. That's.
like
I
French
mean,
cars.
that's funny. I thought the
Snowman.
dual
I like
hand
the,
arc was
uh,
funny.
It was pretty
Renault
funny.
Alpine A110.
They expand on the dual hand a little too, and how
Very
like you know
cool.
how they're talking about how like pervy the dual hand is the whole time, but
Yeah.
like it doesn't seem like he really is. They're just fucking with him. It turns out later that Wiz was like, oh yeah, I was really familiar with him because
Yeah.
I'm also a Demon King general, and they're like, what? And she's like, yeah, he was actually a huge perv, and he would like throw his head and roll it
I
under my
read that.
skirt.
Yeah, that was an awesome chapter. Yeah.
No, that's not in the manga.
No, it was in the manga.
Was it?
It's in like a side series that
Oh.
I read by accident when I was
Oh,
trying to find
okay.
the manga.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
there are
That's in the
four.
second.
There are four
Yeah,
That's in the
mangas.
second
it's-
season of the anime for sure.
It's
It's
in like
in the
a
second
side
season,
series.
yeah.
Yeah, he rolls his head to
Um,
go under his skirt. Very clever man.
Very clever
dude.
man.
Anyway,
Really appreciate him.
honestly, I think the only thing that we
talents.
haven't talked about is Japan,
And the Destroyer.
and the Destroyer. Honestly,
Spider, which they ripped off from Soul Eater and also from spiders.
Do you wanna
they
go-
ripped
real
off
life
from he
the
killed
real
a,
life animal?
No,
spider.
he killed a spider.
let's end on them going to Japan because I think that's a stronger end. Let's talk about the Destroyer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So the Destroyer is like what they wrap up with, and it's mind you they reveal in the second season that the guy who made the Destroyer is an Isekai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes it so much better.
He's an Isekai, and his special ability was that if he thinks of something, he makes it.
It's a good ability.
He can just make anything when he thinks of it.
Yeah.
So, how come he wasn't found as a skeleton with like a fleshlight in each hand? Right?
Well, you know what he did with the ability?
yeah.
He ended up making sex dolls. That's all
Exactly.
he did.
Yeah,
He
that's
ended
all I
up
would
giving
do.
up on being a hero.
Anyone would do
He
that.
ended up giving up being a hero, and he dedicated his life to making the
Yeah.
perfect sex
I
android.
would make a spaceship, and then I would just make sex dolls on my spaceship.
Why did he make a giant spider tank that goes
Because-
around destroying cities?
What-
Because it's so big, it can hold all the
so
sex
here's,
dolls.
here's what
make-
happens. It has a really logical
I'd make a
throughput.
hot pocket.
Good
All right, let
choice.
me run
You're
you.
on an entirely another level, sir.
Oh yeah.
Let me run you through the life of this man. It
Sponsored
starts
by
where
Hot
he
Pocket.
is determined to be an actual hero. All right, he gets his ability and he's like, so the ability is I can make anything by thinking about it, but if it's a magical item, its power is determined by my emotions. So my emotional strength when I'm making the item. So I have to bring up an emotion strong enough to make something that can kill the Demon King.
Oh, and he's just really pervy, so that's why he makes sex.
No, so at first he's trying really hard with like the determination to be Demon King, and then he starts making golems, and he's like, I can make golems like no problem, it's great, and then he just gets really frustrated with how no matter what he like can't get emotional enough to make this sword, and he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna make girls. And he's like, why didn't and then it goes like he's writing this journal, he's like, why didn't I think about this earlier? This is perfect. I can just make girls. I can make I was a huge
Oh,
I was not popular in my life.
I remember Cosima reading this journal and just sort
Yeah.
of being like
Yeah.
straight faced the entire
And
time.
He's like, I can make girls. I can just make them. And so it's like just a gigantic log. He spends like most of his life just figuring out how to make girls out of robots. And then he's like, I've finally done it. I've made the perfect woman. And he's like, okay, the perfect woman was fucked up a little bit, but I've figured it out. And this is how it leads to the spider monster. Is he's like, I figured it out. I can just sell my services of making any material at all to any country, and then I'll be this stupid rich guy.
Yeah.
And then women will flock to me because I have a fuckload of money.
Don't sell to countries, sell to independently wealthy people.
Right.
It's a
So-
much better source of money.
So he ends up going to some country, and they commission him to make a super anti-demon king weapon.
You know,
And
the
then he
thing
makes
that
the
he
spider
couldn't-
walker.
Yeah, obviously.
And then
Yeah,
he makes
yeah.
the spider walker, and he destroys the whole country.
The
Yeah.
thing he couldn't
The key
do,
thing
the
he
thing he
fucked up.
legitimately couldn't make because he didn't have the determination enough.
Couldn't you just make money?
Yeah, you could just make money.
That's what he did.
Couldn't he
just made
buy
money.
out the Demon King with all the money he
No,
made?
I think he saw the foreseeable thing. It's like if I just make money, I'm going to destroy the economy.
Yeah, that makes sense. So instead, I'll
He
just
thought
make
about it.
things
He's a
that-
smart guy. He made a
yeah.
sex android.
would have just made money. I would have just fucked the economy real hard.
Well, here's the thing: the economy's only fucked in one place for
Well, that's
one
what
period
they
of
do
time.
in World Customized Creator, because in World Customized Creator, their
that
money is
another
all.
anime?
It's another
I am
isekai.
thanks.
All their
World
money,
Customized
all their money is
Creator.
colorful gems,
That
like
was
it's
not
green gems, but
Japanese.
red gems are worth 10 times a green gem, and he can just change the color with the settings bar.
Oh, you mean rupees? You're literally
Yeah,
describing
yeah.
rupees.
I was like, what is this, Zelda?
It's rupees, but they're long crystals instead of.
All right.
Long,
Little
skinny
rupees.
crystal?
So they like beat the Spider Walker with the help of explosion magic, and they stop the self-destruct sequence. If you've seen the anime,
Stopped.
it's relatively the same.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the thing that's not in the anime. The box that goes to another world that
The
they buy
Nippon.
inside of Wiz's store.
So if anyone's
goes-
seen Hellraiser, it's pretty much like that.
It's almost exactly like Hellraiser, although I haven't
That
seen
one Hellraiser is?
Well,
haven't
it's
seen
kind of like a
Hellraiser.
cross between Hellraiser and Hayori Nyaruko-san. It's kind of a cross.
Yeah, it is.
between
It
the
is a
two.
little bit Hayori
It is, isn't it? It's like a
Yeah.
mixture between the two of them. Like if the Cinnabite box, instead of being Cinnabites, it was Akihabara.
Mm-hmm.
So-
and fucking Nyaruko-san.
No, Hayori Nyaruko is a reverse isekai, so.
Yeah,
Okay,
it is. And
so-
it's fucking amazing.
Let me explain a little bit. So Wiz has a box that can take you to another world called Japan, and obviously Kazuma is like,
He's from there.
I gotta get
Oh!
that box.
That explains the whole beginning part with the tractor. Okay.
Yeah.
I was so confused by that.
He gets it. No. No, he
I'm just memeing you.
he gets the box,
Wait, he's like-
and they all use it, and they go to Japan, right? And they're all like, "Why are these metal dragons
There's
attacking
monsters
us?"
everywhere.
It's like
Yeah, the
there's
cars and the
actually
planes.
there's actually an angry man driving in that little metal monster.
They
And
end up.
then Megumin's
It
like,
ends up being a
"Oh,
bunch of characters from the town.
Yeah.
that they
No, I keep
encounter,
saying- they-
but
Oh,
in
really?
Japan for some reason,
And they go to-
they've used the same character design.
They go to
Right,
Akihabara and they have the lady who was in the anime as the
The guild reception.
guild
Right, the
receptionist,
boob
but
lady.
isn't the guild receptionist in the manga?
Yeah.
I thought
There's a
that was
different
funny.
guild receptionist in the manga, but
Yeah.
in the section where they go to Japan, they have the anime guild receptionist.
Yes,
as,
that was really
as a
off.
store lady.
That threw me off because
They,
I was
the,
like,
the other character
is-
that's from the
where is
manga
she
that
from?
the anime that they don't have in the manga that is in Japan is the fucking armorer.
Yeah, I saw him.
He's driving the truck.
The guy who was
Okay.
like, "Kid, you're planning to be an adventurer. Do your best," and he gives him like a thumbs up in the guild hall, and he actually just turns out being a huge like perv and random guy later in the anime. But
Yeah.
so they go to Japan, and he takes him around Akibahara and like probably butchering that. I don't know.
yeah, I said it and I was like,
Any
that was-
Akihabara.
so
Akihabara.
they're all having kind of fun. They're all kind of starting fights and stuff too.
Yeah, they're
but they
starting
blend
fights.
in pretty. They blend in pretty well because they are taken for cosplayers.
Well, and because Megumin is just wearing, I mean, not Megumin, Megumin's taken as a cosplayer, and Darkness is wearing a normal pencil skirt and a button-up shirt all the
Yeah.
time.
yeah.
oh yeah, right.
But
So-
the last thing that they do, and it's the thing that I really want us to end here on, because it's really the last thing we have
It's
to talk
really
about.
crucial.
Yeah, this is the end of the podcast. It's coming up right now. We're finally going to be free.
But before we end, I will say Megumin looks just as kawaii in Japan as she does in
Well, she doesn't look different.
in
She didn't
Konosuba
look
world.
different at all.
Listen, it's the
Name's
setting that's
still
around
Jeff.
her matters. Okay.
Kazuma goes back home after he's dead, and he's like, "I got some stuff to do here. You guys wait
And they're like,
outside."
are you just gonna break into his house? And he's like, it's my house. And then he like,
Yeah.
and then
He
he just
go-
goes and gets the key.
Now, this is where a normal isekai protagonist would go in, have a heartfelt thing with his family, and then like
But it would
leave as it
Be
teleports
shitty
him
and fall
home.
flat.
No. What he does is he goes over to his computer.
Deletes his browser history.
He deletes his browser history and his special folder,
Yes.
and then leaves.
He deletes his porn and leaves. Nothing said to his family.
That's
He
it.
looks at his death shrine for like a second, and then Leave.
The difference.
he's there to get rid of the porn.
The difference is because most isekai
He's like, he even
are
makes sure.
written-
It's like, okay,
like-
has this been like logged on too?
Yeah.
And it's
yeah,
like,
He's like,
no,
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 okay.
no.
no, it hasn't. Okay.
No one saw my porn.
And then he heads outside, and Darkness is being taken for a prostitute, and then they just teleport home.
It's great.
It's
Yeah,
it's fucking funny.
it's because Konosuba, unlike most isekai, it's actually based on a diary. so they were like, this is just what happened.
That is
like,
the one thing anybody would do, though. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I didn't clear my browser history.
Nolan, if you died and you're sent to another world. All right, and you had to restart life there, but then you had an opportunity to go back for 12 hours. Are you telling me you wouldn't get rid of that porn?
I'd probably just jack off to it again.
You're not even
Yeah.
getting rid of it. You're just jerking it
That's a
one more
good-
time.
You would go. You would intend to get rid of it. And
That's a
you'd get
good. That's a
distracted.
good idea, though. I think he
that
instead
would have
of
been a better idea.
What I would do is I would print out.
Nobody checked it, so
I would.
just jacked
I would
it again,
download
dude.
every image I have bookmarked on Pixel.
Oh, dude,
and then
I would take a
print them out.
laptop.
And
Take
then I
a
would print them out.
laptop.
But I'd print them out so they
Put
last
it on
longer.
a thumb drive.
Take
Get the
it.
fuck out.
No,
Yeah.
you got to take a
You have
laptop
to have
because
a
it's going to be
laptop
too
in
hard
your
to build a
device.
computer. But you
Yeah.
could foreseeable make a magic electrical source like
Yeah.
they do in Another
No
World with
Game,
My
No Life.
Deus Ex.
No, they don't.
Do it in both of those.
They charge it through magic though.
Well,
I'm
actually,
just
they don't
using that
use
as an
Magic in
example.
No Game, No Life.
They
just have
charge
a
it through
solar
his magic
powered thing
energy.
that they brought
I'm just
from
saying,
home.
like, take a laptop with all your porn on it.
Lend me your
Yeah.
energy.
All right, that was Isekast.
We
We did it.
Can one of our guests give us a
Give us
sign
an
off?
outro. One of you.
I literally have no idea what the fuck just happened.